I really do believe that Huther Doyle saved my life. I really do. My story began when I was super young. You know, I was like 11 or 12 years old. I had this friend that I grew up with, and you know, his family was that one family that you could go to their house like on the weekends, and you know, you could drink and smoke weed, but consequences soon followed. You know, my senior year of high school, I started as a sophomore because of my drinking and drugging. Instead of going to college, I pursued getting high. People were selling drugs and they were getting all the attention from everybody, and you know, I wanted that attention. That was something that I always never really had. So I got involved with it and I started selling drugs, and I started going to parties, and like I would walk in the door and people would like scream my name and they'd come running up to me, and like I loved it. Finally I felt whole, it seemed like, but really what it boiled down to was it was the drugs that they were after. It wasn't me. You know, I met this girl during this time period, and you know, she was using heroin and she was using intravenous drugs. So I went and I got her some drugs, and I came back and I had to go meet a couple of people to take care of something, and it ended up taking a lot longer than what I thought it would. And when I came home, I found her dead. She had overdosed. I called the police, they came, you know, I didn't get charged for anything, but she had, you know, Xanax at the time. And when they left, I just took the bottle of Xanax and I dumped it in my mouth and I tried to kill myself. When I got out of the psych ward, you know, I started getting into the heroin and fentanyl. And that was just the start. The start of a downward spiral for probably the next 3.5 years. I started doing, you know, some really nasty things to my family. I started stealing from them, my sister, my brother, whatever I could get just to get that next one. Like, I thought I could, you know, manipulate my mom some more. So I went to her house, and while I was there, not even 5 minutes later, Irondequoit police officers were there and had me in handcuffs, and I was facing 3 to 6 years in prison. And, you know, I remember sitting in that jail cell, detoxing from heroin, and you know, that's not a fun place to be. Out of nowhere, I sat up and I just looked up and I said, God, if you're there, give me a fighting chance at this thing, or just let me die. And I got the best sleep I ever got that night. When I woke up the next morning, the obsession was gone. Yeah, so this brings back a lot of memories. You know, there was roughly probably 10 or 12 of us that, you know, frequented this place here a little over 3 years ago. And this is what I called home. You know, I didn't have a home of my own. You know, my actions had consequences in life. And because of that, this is where I ended up. And it's just amazing to be able to come back to this and to relive some memories that, you know, some people would say is very difficult. For me, it's a motivation, you know, to just keep going and to keep doing the thing that I'm doing. Huther Doyle means the world to me. I am extremely grateful for what they have allowed me to witness in life. I worked with some phenomenal counselors here that, you know, I accredit a lot of the hard work that I've done to the motivation that they've given me.
The thing that stood out to me about TJ is, regardless of his circumstances, regardless of where he was, he kept suiting up and showing up. And I think what we learned from TJ's recovery is, you know, you continue to fight one day at a time for your sobriety. And when you give to Huther Doyle, you're giving to a place, a community that is totally committed to giving people hope.
I've been clean since December 29th of 2018. I really do believe that Huther Doyle saved my life.